All right, Algebra 1 students, this is Mr. Turpeville once more. Today we're going to cover equations of parallel lines. This is lesson 4-5 in our Algebra 1. So before we get started today, I needed to review you on one important fact that we learned in the last chapter. We talked about it that parallel lines have the same or equal slope. So the same slope. Very important for today especially. Alright, after today, we must be able to determine if lines are parallel in all three forms. So this is slope-intercept, and this is point-slope, and this is standard form. And the example here that I gave you, all of them have a slope of positive 1/2. Okay, standard form will be a little tougher to find. You're going to have to manipulate it around. But these two, it's real easy to see if they're parallel. Just look at the slope and say, yep, they match, so they have to be parallel. And I just want to reinforce this again. You're going to have to know in all three forms. On your test, you can be asked anything in any form. So make sure you understand how to move back and forth between the two or three of them. And if you need help, you need to let us know quickly. Okay, so this is a typical question that you were going to be asked regarding equations of lines. It's going to say it wants an equation of a line that is parallel to this line, but that goes through the point here. So in all this information that they've given you, you do need the point, but the most important thing is the slope of the line that you want to be parallel to. So since parallel lines have equal slope, I know that the slope of my new line is going to be 2. And I know that I have the point -1, 3. Okay? So let's look at what I've been given. I have slope, and I have a point. So what that means is it's going to be much easier to do this in point-slope form to start. Okay? So we're going to do y minus y1. So our y1 is 3. That's equal to our slope, which is 2, times x minus, well, minus a -1 is like saying +1, right? So here it is in point-slope form. Now, how would I get slope-intercept form? Alright, well, I would go ahead and basically simplify this. So I'm going to do this in green. So I would be left with y minus 3 equals 2x, because I'm going to distribute this, plus 2. I need y by itself, so I'm going to go ahead and add the 3. The 3 will not add to 2x because it does not have an x. They are not like terms. So I'm going to add it to the 2, and I end up with y equals 2x plus 5. It's not the same equation, but they do have the same slope. So I'm doing good. Now let's look at putting this in standard form. So I'm going to take my slope-intercept, and I'm going to get my x on the same side as y. So now I have -2x plus y equals 5. Now remember, the first number cannot be a fraction, and it cannot be a negative number. So I'm going to multiply everything in here by -1, which just changes the signs. So this will be 2x minus y equals -5. And there's your standard form. And here's your slope-intercept. And last but not least, here's your point-slope form. So remember, our easiest one to start with, if we have a choice, is just to do point-slope form, because we have everything we need. Okay? So I'll let you look at the original problem for a second. There's all your answers. So, special case. There's really only two things that behave differently. Horizontal lines are always parallel to other horizontal lines? Vertical lines are always parallel to other vertical lines. And remember, you can determine if a line is horizontal or vertical just by looking at its equation. If you have y equals some number, or like y equals 1, for example, that is a horizontal line. So if I want to find a line that's parallel to y equals 1, just change the number. Y equals 5. Those are both horizontal lines. These two are parallel. Vertical lines you can identify by x equals any number. So for an example, x equals -1 would be a vertical line. If I wanted a parallel line to that, just pick another number, -5. Okay? And that is pretty much the essential information for this. It's just going to take some practice moving back and forth between the forms some more, and just being able to identify slope in those different places. Remember to fill out the form and to have your question for tomorrow.